Now, for years, the aviation industry in Africa has been treated as a luxury. This has seen many countries ignore the sector, but now industry players are demanding to be viewed as a critical component of the growing economy in Africa. Joseph Bonyo reports.
The aviation industry in Africa has witnessed remarked growth over the last 50 years. This has seen a number of players based in the continent flex muscles in an industry that is largely controlled by carriers from America, Europe and lately Middle East. But in an effort to grow their market shares, the carriers are now demanding more from the African governments.
There is criticism of African governments, but realize where the governments have come from. They're very young governments. The African countries got independence only the other day. We're looking at European countries that started 700 or so years ago.
Among the factors that currently hinder the African airlines from achieving their full potential is the high cost structures that has made doing business very expensive. Additionally, inadequate infrastructure at a number of airports has also held back the growth in an industry poised to gain from the growth of economies in the continent.
The conversation has to take place at government level. Now, it's our responsibility to appraise the politicians in our respective countries about the challenges that face the airline industry.
But while the continent's carriers have valid reasons on what is holding back growth of the sector, internal competition is also a very key contributor to their snail pace. A case in point has been the slow implementation of the Yamoussoukro decision, which advocates for open skies in the continent.
It's frustrating because in my 11 years in the industry, we've been talking about it every year, and once we finish the meeting, nothing happens. Nobody talks about it. So we don't take ownership of it, and you can't go on talking about the same thing forever.
But given the growing competition globally and the increased presence of non-African airlines, especially the Middle East carriers in the continent, the industry is promising to forge ahead in unison. At the just concluded African Airlines Association 45th General Assembly meeting in Diani, Kwale County, players agreed to address the challenges with their respective presidents.
On governments to assist in terms of reducing industry costs, particularly the extremely high costs in Africa in areas such as passenger charges, fuel charges, taxes and fees.
With these commitments, the African aviation industry hopes to turn the tides and compete favorably not only in Africa but the global airspace. Joseph Bonyo, KTN Business.